You are now tuned in to the world's greatest.
Hey Max, it is HEELBailey with the Elimination Chamber 2017 review, and good luck to Fastlane topping this one. Jesus, they have absolutely no chance. Elimination Chamber delivered on every single level. Every match, well, pretty much every match was awesome, but we're going to break it down here with every single match. So, ignoring the kickoff, sorry. So the first match on the main card was Becky Lynch versus Mickie James. It was a really decent match and a really good opener. The crowd was like behind Becky Lynch. You could tell the crowd was behind Becky Lynch. They were like chanting for her throughout the whole thing, which is rare for an opening segment, and it's rare for a women's match. You know, after the kind of culmination of the four horsewomen getting on the main roster at Mania between Becky Lynch, Charlotte and Sasha Banks, the women's matches have had a little bit of trouble getting over, but this one surprisingly was. It was really, really good. So you have Becky Lynch coming out with the victory here with a roll-up, which was kind of interesting. I don't really know. Kind of Mickie James went into the ground and pound, and then Mickie James tries to hit the jumping DDT, and then Becky counters it into the back body drop and then rolls Mickie up to pick up the victory. It was a decent match, and it was a really good way to open the show. A story was definitely told here. You could tell a story was told. The rivalry between these two, it's kind of like leaning towards that new versus old kind of thing going on, and I'm really enjoying the style. It was a really good match and a really good way to open the show. So then we move on to Apollo Crews and Kalisto versus Dolph Ziggler, which is one of the lesser matches that I enjoyed tonight. Apollo Crews comes out with his entrance, whatever, and then Kalisto's music hits. He comes out, he gets about 5 seconds into his entrance before he gets freaking murdered by Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler grabs this man and he like launches him into the Minitron, I guess, behind it, and he actually breaks some of the LED lights in it, which was a really good effect. I mean, it was cool. And then obviously Dolph Ziggler goes to the ring. Apollo Crews does the whole anger thing. He gets back into the ring, and they have a decent match for Apollo Crews and Dolph Ziggler. It's like a singles match. Kalisto comes hobbling back to the freaking ring. He like comes back to the ring limping for like 15 seconds and then starts flipping off the ropes, man. It really annoyed me. I don't know. Kalisto gets a sidekick into the head of Ziggler. Crews gets the blind tag, and then plants Ziggler with the sit-out powerbomb and picks up the victory. I don't even know what Apollo Crews' finisher is called at this point. It's just the spin sit-out powerbomb. Of course, Ziggler can't take this. We have to keep the heat going for Ziggler, so he goes outside, he picks up a steel chair, and he starts freaking wailing on Apollo Crews. He gets his ankle in the chair, steps on it, does it again, and Dolph Ziggler's pulling off these ultimate heel moves, and the crowd are chanting, "Thank you, Ziggler." Oh, it couldn't go any more wrong for the creative team right now. Dolph Ziggler needs to start beating faces that people care about. He really does, or else this heel gimmick is going absolutely nowhere. It's cool that Dolph Ziggler kind of is standing on top. He's not just losing like he used to. He's standing on top, but he needs to get into a meaningful feud, and these two mid-carders aren't gonna do it. So after this, we move into the tag team turmoil match, which should have been an Elimination Chamber match, but nonetheless, we have Slater and Fandango, Slater and Rhino versus Fandango starting things off. Did anyone really expect Fandango and Tyler Breeze to eliminate frickin' Rhino and Heath Slater? I don't think anyone expected that at all. So you get Rhino, he gores Fandango pretty quickly, scores the pinfall. Breeze and Fandango are out of there. The Vaudevillains come out, they get about 10 seconds in the ring before they get freaking eliminated as well. It's kind of a shame the Vaudevillains just get absolutely jobbed out in this match. I don't know, they're going nowhere on SmackDown Live, guys. Jimmy and Jey Uso next, they come in. Pretty awesome. You have Slater hits a pretty sweet flying clothesline at some point. He gets like a series of combination to Jay, but Jay plants Heath Slater with a Samoan drop for a 2 count. Jay tosses Rhino to the outside. He tags in Jimmy, and then Jimmy gets a really, really nice super kick on Slater, hits him with a roll up and scores the pinfall, which means that Heath Slater and Rhino are now eliminated. And then American Alpha come out. This was the greatest portion of the tag team turmoil match. American Alpha versus the Usos works really well. There's some really good combos in here. A really good sweet spot where you have like the freaking double suplex by American Alpha. They get the double German suplex in stereo. Works really, really well. Then you get the really typical hot tag. So you get Jason Jordan and Jey Uso are tagged in. You get Jordan with the dropkick to Jey. He connects with the overhead belly to belly that just launches this man halfway across the ring, honestly. Jimmy hits the sunset flip for a 2 count, and then Gable rolls up Jimmy and scores the pinfall, and then the Usos are officially eliminated, which means that we're down to the American Alpha versus the Ascension, and at this point everyone is thinking that the Ascension are going to win. You know, they just came off the victory on SmackDown Live. The Ascension look pretty badass. They kind of walk in with this new face paint that looks, I don't freaking know what these guys are doing, man. They're out of control. But yeah, they get in. They look pretty strong for about a minute, and then American Alpha pins them. American Alpha win and retain the championships. See, American Alpha just literally beat the entire division. You have to ask the question. This whole tag team turmoil match started because American Alpha basically called out an open challenge, and then the entire roster, the entire tag team division came out, and American Alpha just beat the entire freaking tag team division, guys. We have to see a call up from NXT at this point. There is no credible opponent for American Alpha right now. It has to be a team from NXT. We need the revival up here right now. It has to happen. We have no other options, but they're freaking hooked up with the Authors of Pain right now in NXT. I don't know where the tag team division on SmackDown's going after this. I really don't. But it'll be cool to see. I mean, if Roman Reigns came out and freaking did this, he eliminated like 6 other goddamn people and like retained the championship, the freaking crowd would be blowing up, man. But because it's American Alpha, you know, we don't see that. They're just looking strong, and they're looking stronger than Roman Reigns right now. But, you know, whatever. It's whatever, I guess. Then we have Nikki Bella versus Natalya. Now, I am not invested in this storyline at all. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't care. I don't buy the personal debates and issues between these two. I don't buy it at all. This whole thing with John Cena, I don't buy it at all. And then you have this freaking match that's actually quite good, and then it doesn't even end with a victor. It ends in a double count out. So now I'm goddamn invested in this feud, even though I didn't want to be. Like, I'm sorry, and it's not because they're women, because before anyone pulls that, I'm just not invested in this storyline emotionally. And then you have this match that's a really, really awesome match. I really enjoyed it from start to finish. The story told in the ring was so much better than the promos told outside the ring with these interviews and stuff. And then you have the double count out at the end when Nikki Bella's trying to roll back into the ring. Natalya tackles her away from the apron, forcing the ref to get to the count of 10. And by the way, the crowd are chanting 10 for the numbers up till 10. So, you know, the ref's trying to do his freaking job, goddammit. The ref's like 1, 2, 3, and the crowd's just like, no, 10, 10, 10. It's hilarious. But anyway, yeah, Nikki Bella and Natalya ending a double count out, so I'm now invested in this feud. I assume it's going to pay off at WrestleMania, and Nikki Bella's going to get the win and then retire. I assume that's how it's going to go here. But it was a solid match. It really was a solid match. Regardless of the poor build-up, in my personal opinion, the match was solid. Then, of course, you have the match of the night that isn't the main event, Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. Now, I'm going into this, I'm really wanting Harper to just launch his singles career and get pushed to the freaking moon. But, of course, Randy Orton is the winner of the Royal Rumble. He's not about to lose to Luke freaking Harper. Randy Orton does end up winning this match, but not after they have the match of the night. There are some really awesome spots in here. You have Luke Harper doing, like, freaking... He's, like, jumping over the top ropes and doing suicide dives, man. Like, this man is completely out of control. Like... The commentators are saying that, like, he's a guy his size and he shouldn't be doing all these moves, but he doesn't give a damn. He doesn't give a damn. He's just trying to put on a show. He does everything. He's a technician. He's a grappler, a striker. He's a high flyer. He really is a high flyer. It's hilarious. But the match ends with Luke Harper going for the discus clothesline after a sequence. He spins around, forces his forearm out into the face of Orton. Orton pushes the forearm away, causing Harper to spin in the opposite direction. And then Randy Orton hits Luke Harper with the RKO out of nowhere. It was a really awesome match from start to finish. This is absolutely the match of the night. If you are going to watch the highlights of Elimination Chamber and not the full show, definitely pick up this full match. I'm personally going to rewatch it because it was a really, really awesome match. But it's unfortunate that Luke Harper is kind of lost now. You know, he had this whole thing with the White family, and unless he rejoins them at some point, I have no idea where he's going to go. We have Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose locked up with the Intercontinental Championship. Is anyone else ready to take on a feud with Luke Harper? Mojo Rawley? I don't know, but it was a really solid match nonetheless. Moving on to Alexa Bliss versus Naomi for the WWE SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Now, I'm going into this match thinking like Naomi's just been forced right now. She's been force pushed right now, and no, that's not a reference to Star Wars. Like, she has just kind of got 2 quick victories on SmackDown Live, and then she's got a championship match. I'm just thinking this is a throwaway match, you know, we're just going to have Alexa Bliss retain, and then move on to WrestleMania for some kind of big feud with maybe Becky Lynch. completely wrong. Naomi comes out of this match with the win. I have no idea what's going on here. Like, I like Naomi. I'm a huge fan of the Feel the Glow gimmick. I really like the entrance. The entrance is really badass and it's really new, and it connects with the audience. Of course, you have the freaking guy on the front row. There's a guy on the front row wearing like this green jumper that starts illuminating in the entrance. It's hilarious. But we have Naomi winning this match. She wins when Alexa Bliss goes for the Twisted Bliss, and Naomi gets her knees up, smashes them into the abdomen of Alexa Bliss, and then Alexa Bliss is just laid out. Naomi connects with the split-legged moonsault that she does in about 3 seconds. It takes her like 3 seconds to do this entire transition and move. It looks really awesome. And then Naomi picks up the victory. You have Naomi giving this like promo after the victory. What's her name? Renee Young. Renee Young comes into the ring, and Naomi's just crying, and the crowd are chanting, "You deserve it," and it's such a special moment. Oh, I don't know. I really wasn't expecting the crowd to chant "You deserve it," to be honest. Like, Naomi does deserve it. It's about time that someone who like hasn't been called up from NXT, and someone beside the 4 horsewomen who have worked really hard and who are really talented, to finally get some gold. So, you know, on Raw we have Sasha Banks and Charlotte fighting for the gold. It's Sasha Banks, it's Charlotte, it's Sasha Banks, it's Charlotte. But now we've got Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, and Naomi, who've held the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, so they are ahead right now. It was a really awesome match, and it was a really feel-good moment when Naomi won the championship. Good for her. Daniel Bryan said on Talking Smack that like nothing is done, but god damn it, Naomi needs to walk into her hometown as the SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Make it happen. I don't care who she's against. She's in a really good place, and I'm really proud of her. We end the night, of course, with the Elimination Chamber. We have the champion John Cena against Dean Ambrose, the Intercontinental Champion, Baron Corbin, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, and The Miz. See, Bray Wyatt is the favourite going into this match because of Randy Orton and the whole setup with the Royal Rumble win and Orton being part of the Wyatt family. So, you know, we're kind of expecting Bray Wyatt to win, but then in the back of every single person's mind watching this at home or in that arena is, you know, are they just going to give it, are they going to let John Cena retain? Are they going to let AJ Styles take the reins? The Miz, I personally wanted The Miz to win, but that's beside the point. He had no chance of winning. There was no way in hell. And of course, it was way too early for Baron Corbin to touch that gold. Dean Ambrose was not going to be a dual champion. Like, come on, it's not going to happen. So we had realistically John Cena, AJ Styles, or Bray Wyatt. And of course, these 3 are the final 3 in the match. So, you know, at this point, I'm just thinking they're going to have Cena retain, they're going to have Styles take the win. But no, welcome to the era of Wyatt. Bray Wyatt finally captures some singles gold, and it just happens to be the most prestigious belt in the WWE. It's about goddamn time. Anyway, the match. We enter to the new Elimination Chamber. It's got a fresh look. It's kind of like more square as opposed to circular now. It looks way taller than it did before. I don't know if anyone else noticed this. It looks way taller, and they have a new cool effect when you know, you have the countdown, and then like the lights go between all 4 of the pods to decide who comes out. They have a really cool effect now where they have like LED lights flashing towards the cell that gets opened. It looks really cool. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've watched the Elimination Chamber, but it looks really cool. So the chambers, I'm a big fan of the chamber. I saw a lot of people on Twitter who were complaining about the foam padding on where the steel used to be, in quotation marks, on the outside of the ring. You know, like outside of the ropes, you'd have the 4 pods in the corners, and then you'd have the 4 strips, which would have steel. Now they have these like foam pads, and I saw all these people complaining on Twitter who were like, oh, we've lost the brutality of the Elimination Chamber. It's like, the only thing that the steel did was give that satisfying noise when someone was slammed, suplexed, or dropped onto it. That's the only thing that provided, right? The only other thing it provided was a higher percentage chance of injury for anyone competing in the Elimination Chamber. Get the hell over it. I would so much rather have no noise when someone gets AA'd onto the outside than to have AJ Styles or The Miz break their spine on the steel. I know that's a bit of an extreme view, but like, get over it, guys. Seriously, get over it. But yeah, the new Elimination Chamber looks really good. It looks really good. And we have some awesome spots. You have Dean Ambrose, who jumps off the top of the pod to deliver a standing elbow drop to John Cena, which was really cool. You have AJ Styles and I think it was Dean Ambrose again, who were on top of one of the pods, slamming each other's head onto the like glass portion of the chamber. Which, speaking of satisfying noises, when AJ Styles' head bounced off this glass for the first time, I thought that man had a concussion. Like, I'm pretty sure it's plexiglass, but the sound was really devastating. Following that, you have Dean Ambrose again jumping off the top of the pod, trying to hit Bray Wyatt with the standing elbow. Bray Wyatt just shoots this man out of the sky. He like strikes him with some serious force. It's hilarious. You have a really cool moment where Baron Corbin gets eliminated by Dean Ambrose, and then Corbin just freaking loses it, man. He completely flies off the handle. He's like launching Dean Ambrose into the wall of the pod. He smashes him through like 2 different layers of one of the empty pods, which like, oh, they're clearly setting up for Baron Corbin versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship, I assume at WrestleMania, but it was a really awesome moment. And then of course you have The Miz scurrying into the ring to get the pin on Dean Ambrose, who eliminates him, and then The Miz is in full control of this match. He's doing the yes chants, you know, mocking Daniel Bryan. He's kicking everyone with a pulse in the ring. John Cena, AJ Styles, and Bray Wyatt, they're just getting it right now. He's got about 20 kicks off to the 3 of them. Then the 3 of them are in the turnbuckles, 3 separate corners. He's doing like the drop kicks to all 3 of them, the Daniel Bryan drop kicks, and he's just laying waste to everyone. And then John Cena hits him with the attitude adjustment and pins him 1, 2, 3. Oh god, I can't be the only one who laughed at this. Like, The Miz was in control for a solid like 3 minutes. He takes one move. It was the only thing that The Miz got hit by, the 1 AA, and then he gets eliminated. Hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And then after an exchange between Bray Wyatt and John Cena, Bray Wyatt reverses the attitude adjustment into Sister Abigail on John freaking Cena, and then gets the 1, 2, 3. So Bray Wyatt has pinned John Cena. At this point, all the fans are thinking that this could happen. This could really happen. And then AJ Styles and Bray Wyatt have a really intense stare down. They have a short exchange before Bray Wyatt nails AJ Styles with Sister Abigail for the 1, 2, 3, and Bray Wyatt is the WWE Champion. Absolutely incredible. This pay-per-view delivered on every single level. Best of luck to Fastlane match in this. You have Randy Orton coming out at the end to stare down Bray Wyatt, and they have a really awesome exchange. And Bray Wyatt has finally got singles gold. I'm so happy for the guy. It's about goddamn time. He has the world title in his hands. And I want to thank each and every one of you for listening to this review of the Elimination Chamber 2017. Leave a like if you did enjoy. I'm looking to get a webcam in the near future so I can get a more interactive video for you guys. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you thought about the Elimination Chamber, and subscribe for some more WWE content. I'll catch you next time.